To begin with, I would like to read the portion of the Bible in Matthew 26:39 saying, "O my Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not as I will, but as thou wilt." After knowing that the door of Borneo was closed for the Ikilianas to go as missionaries, a question came to me saying, "How about if I call you someday as a missionary?" Immediately my answer was, "Call others, not me, Lord." Knowing myself a timid, fearful, and sickly person, I could not do it. Although God had spoken through His Word and circumstances, I tried to ignore them. Instead, I wrestled with God for 12 years. But one day, I felt as if I had no place anywhere in this world. Being tired of kicking against the prick, I applied to Pabwe in 1974. My only prayer was to give the Pabwe board wisdom in their decision. After the interview, they accepted me as missionary appointee to Thailand. Immediately, all fears were gone, coupled with unspeakable joy, courage, and peace within me. With God's help, on June 14, 1975, I reached Thailand, the land of His choice. Doing the will of God doesn't mean exception from hardship and pain. Learning the language and adjusting to the culture were not easy. During those days, some government officials seemed unfriendly to missionaries. In fact, we were categorized as useless people. Every now and then, I got a notice from the immigration to leave the country. In one of my trips from Montabri Student Center, someone slashed my bag and took my passport. While waiting for the new passport, the immigration notified me again to leave the country. With the help of the Philippine Embassy, I was able to stay for more days. Just before I finished my 7 months of language study, I received the 14th letter ordering me to leave the country within 48 hours. All efforts to help extend my visa were in vain. So, I went back to the Philippines. After a month, God provided my needs and I came back to Thailand. To see people getting saved, Christians growing in the Lord, and responding to God's call as pastors, missionaries, and Bible women, and churches established is a great joy. Following the will of God gives special privileges as well, like seeing some tourist spots in Thailand, eating in some famous restaurants, traveling to the US and Israel. Mrs. Holmes commented, "Had we not followed the Lord, we would not have experienced these extra blessings. Yes, it's only by God's amazing grace that I am blessed with more than I ever imagined within 45 years in Thailand. Honestly, I have never regretted that I answered His call." I am now a retired missionary. Thailand needs younger ones to continue the ministry. If God is calling you, please pray, plan, and proceed by applying to Pabwe. Please remember that life begins at its best once you're fully surrendered to God. I would like to live my life verse in Philippians 1:6. 3 good things that God began good work in me are the following. God called me to salvation at the age of 9 during DVBS. God called me as Bible woman in 1966 to 1974. God called me as Pabwe missionary since 1975 5 up to the present time. Lastly, I would like to thank you for sending me, praying for me, and supporting me financially through all these years. May God bless and use us all until He comes. Thank you.